Nina, it's a big loss on the high street.
Yeah, John, thank you. It was once a high street trailblazer, but the Body Shop enjoyed the smells of growing success through the 80s to the noughties. But up to half of their 198 stores will now close in order to, quote, re-energise the brand. So 7 stores shut up shop yesterday. 4 of those are in London, where overheads are highest. The shutters also came down in Nuneaton, Bristol and Ashford in Kent. It's not clear what exactly will happen to all of the 2,200 or so employees in the UK. The remaining shops and websites are expected to continue trading, and overseas franchises aren't affected. But Body Shop at home was already being wound up, and the subsequent ambassadors network will cease trading. There will be some relief that this iconic brand has survived in some form, but concerns remain about what comes next, especially for some of those staff still learning their fate. John.
Indeed.
Yes, if it feels like a growing problem, that's because it is. Literally, cars have been getting bigger for years now, but spaces haven't. So since 2011, cars have been getting about a centimetre wider every 2 years. But parking spaces have stayed the same. Have a look at this. The average new car is 180 centimetres in width, but so is the average parking space. And those big SUVs, the ones you hear lots of motorists and pedestrians moan about, well, they're 200 centimetres wide. More of it about. A consequence of a larger number of bigger vehicles is more drivers parking on pavements or in disabled or family bays, which can... campaigners are saying it can't go on. What can be done, though? Because cars aren't about to get any smaller. Perhaps we could follow the Paris model, where residents recently voted to triple parking charges for SUVs. Or maybe on and the fallout of that. We've given people a safe space to moan about this. And they have, yes. And driving around a car park looking for a space, you finally clock one, you pull, and then you can't open the door. So you've got to do the old deep breaths. My therapist has told me I can deal with this. No, it's winding a lot of people up. I'm sure we'll get a good response from the audience this morning. Somebody what?
He wasn't you leaving aside, but all the best.
Day trip yesterday.
Parking.
We weren't listening to the radio. They were
to do with
that wing mirrors in.
It just makes me very stressed.
Making parking bays a bit bigger would work. The British Parking Association told us they supported these proposals and that some car parks are already upgrading, although bigger spaces means fewer spaces, of course, and that comes with its own problems. If this feels like a growing problem, that's probably because it is. Quite literally, cars have been getting bigger for years now, but those spaces haven't. Let's have a look. Since 2001, cars have been growing by 1 centimetre every 2 years, but spaces have stayed the same size. Look at this then. The average big SUVs, yes, the ones you'll hear a lot of motorists and pedestrians complain about, well, they're 200 centimetres wide, as you can see there. They are literally too big to fit the spot. And 2 of the 3 top-selling models last year were SUVs, so you will be seeing a bit more of that about. And a consequence of a larger number of bigger vehicles is that more drivers are parking on pavements or in disabled or family bays. There's tutting in the go. Campaigners say this cannot go on. Maybe we could follow the Parisian model, where residents recently voted to triple parking charges for SUVs. Maybe making parking bays bigger could work. The British Parking Association told us they supported such proposals and that some car parks are already upgrading. Although bigger spaces means fewer spaces, so that would come with its own problems. Understandably, lots of you have been in touch on email and on car manufacturers for making cars too big. Some people have said they've got bigger cars and it's not their fault that there's nowhere to park. Keep your messages coming in. Maybe you're a blue badge holder or a parent who's